With Achilles still withdrawn from the war, the Greek fleet faces total annihilation. As the enemy closes in on the ships, a desperate hour arrives, forcing a decision that will change the fate of the entire conflict. The Greeks face a dire crisis as the Trojans reach their fleet, with torches ready to set the ships ablaze. This imminent destruction threatens to trap the entire army, leaving them with no hope of return. Unable to watch his comrades die, Patroclus makes an emotional plea to Achilles. He begs his companion to set aside his pride and return to the fight, or at the very least, allow Patroclus to take his place. Achilles remains deeply wounded by Agamemnon's insults, yet the desperate pleas of his closest companion are hard to ignore. Torn between his pride and his friendship, he reaches a tragic compromise. Achilles allows Patroclus to wear his armor, hoping it will terrify the Trojans into retreat. However, he gives a stern command. Patroclus must drive the enemy from the ships, but must not pursue them to the city walls. Clad in the legendary armor, Patroclus enters the battlefield in a chariot, leading the elite Myrmidon warriors. The Trojans are struck with terror, mistakenly believing the invincible Achilles has returned. The Myrmidons charge into the Trojan lines with synchronized force. This sudden shock shatters the enemy formation, successfully breaking the siege on the ships and shifting the momentum of the war. Patroclus cuts a path through the enemy, forcing a massive Trojan retreat across the plains. His rampage peaks when he strikes down Sarpedon, a son of Zeus, further cementing his dominance on the field. Intoxicated by victory, Patroclus forgets Achilles' warning. Blinded by his success, he drives his chariot forward, pushing the retreating Trojans all the way back to the gates of their city. Patroclus attempts the impossible, trying to scale the great walls of Troy. In his ambition, he has crossed the boundaries set for mortal men, entering a realm guarded by the gods themselves. The god Apollo descends to enforce the will of fate. With blinding force, he strikes Patroclus, shattering his weapons and stripping away the divine armor, exacting a heavy price for challenging the gods. Stripped of his protection, Patroclus is defenseless before Hector, the champion of Troy. It is a fatal duel, with an outcome already destined by the heavens. Hector lands a killing blow, and Patroclus falls. As he dies, he utters a prophecy, claiming that Hector will soon fall at the hands of the true Achilles, a moment that will forever alter the war. Hector strips the fallen hero of Achilles' armor, claiming it as a trophy. By taking the armor of his greatest enemy, Hector unwittingly seals his own dark fate. A desperate battle erupts around the body of Patroclus. The Greeks fight with fierce intensity to prevent the Trojans from desecrating the fallen hero's remains. Through staggering losses, the Greeks manage to secure the body of Patroclus. They carry him back toward the ships, returning with a hollow victory that feels entirely like defeat. The messenger Antilochus reaches the camp with the news that Patroclus has fallen. Upon hearing the devastating truth, Achilles collapses to the earth, his world shattered by his own pride. Pouring ash over his head, Achilles releases a primal scream that echoes across the shore. He has lost his only reason to live, and with it, any reason to restrain his wrath. Knowing her son will seek vengeance, the goddess Thetis descends into the volcanic forge of Hephaestus. She begs the master smith to craft a new, peerless set of armor for Achilles. The death of Patroclus has brought Achilles back to the war. Now, armed with armor forged by the gods, he returns to the battlefield not for honor, but for the total destruction of Hector.